Hey guys, what's up? So I guess you all know by now that there are two new Pixels out, the 5 and the 4a 5G, but then the 4a has already been out for a while. I guess in this video we're going to be taking a look at the 3 and be asking which one is the best buy for you. So when I got the Google Pixel 4a, I was pleasantly surprised to see the kind of a powerhouse that was packed into it. I mean, for $350 you will not expect a phone to be that good, but I guess that Google has proven time and time again that it doesn't really matter the price, it just matters whether or not it was made by Google. Because I guess we can all agree that the Google Pixel 3a was probably the budget phone of the year, and they came around and smashed their goals once again by coming out with the Google Pixel 4a, making it even cheaper for $350. I mean, the Google Pixel 3a came out at $399 and yet it was called the budget phone of the year. And yet again they came out with the Google Pixel 4a at $350. After Google came out with the Google Pixel 3a, nobody expected what they did with the 4a, coming out to the phone at $350. Even though it is the A lineup and we know that that's supposed to be the budget lineup, $350 is actually pretty low for a phone that Google was going to come out with. Now, after Google came out with the 4a, they are now coming out with the 4a 5G and the Google Pixel 5. The 4a 5G comes out at $499 and the 5 comes out at $699. After the Pixel 4 came out at $799. The price differences are just amazing, just proving to us that Google is beginning to take into consideration its customer base, and now it's making phones for us, at least phones that our pockets can afford. I mean, right off the bat, we can see the differences between the Google Pixel 5, the Google Pixel 4a 5G, and the Google Pixel 4a. But I think the biggest difference is probably going to be the screen size. Nobody expected that out of the three of them, the Google Pixel 4a 5G was going to be the one with the biggest screen. Where the screen of the Google Pixel 4a 5G is 6.2 inches. In comparison to the Google Pixel 5, that's just 6 inches. And I mean, the 4a is this little brother in all of this that comes out 5.8 inches. So obviously when I say the biggest difference, I kind of mean the biggest physical difference, the biggest difference that you'll be able to see. But the biggest difference among the three phones is probably going to be the fact that the Google Pixel 4a is still rocking 4G, but then the Google Pixel 5 and 4a 5G obviously have 5G. So I guess among all three things, that's probably going to be the biggest difference. So guys, I guess thanks to Android OS being so light and simple, it doesn't really matter the fact that the Pixel 4 still rocks the Snapdragon 730G, and the 4a 5G and the Google Pixel 5 are now up to the 765G. So all three phones still use the same security system with the thumbprint at the back, and I guess for now Google is sticking with that because it's been working so far. Another big difference is probably going to be the battery. The battery for the 4a is 3140 mAh, and I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but Google claims that that is what they call the all-day battery, and as far as my experience goes, it does last all day. The Google Pixel 4a 5G and the Pixel 5 just came to smash that battery life out of the park, because the Google Pixel 5 comes out over 4000 mAh, but then the Google Pixel 4a 5G still has about 3895. That sounds pretty good for phones that will probably last you for the whole day and even more. For the Google Pixel 4a, they stuck with a plastic, unibody. The Google Pixel 4a 5G has claimed now to be using a softer type of plastic. All three of them basically have the same memory and storage. That is aside from the fact that the Pixel 5 has about 8 gigs of RAM in comparison to the 4a and the 4a 5G having 6 gigs of RAM, but they all have the base storage of 128 gigs. I guess the other differences would probably be the fact that the 4a only comes out in just black, but then the 4a 5G comes out in just black and clearly white, and then the 5 comes out in just black and sort of sage. Google Pixel 5 has over its brothers is the fact that the Google Pixel 5 can also charge other devices wirelessly. So I guess that's a very new thing coming to it, just like they did in Samsung. The Google Pixel 5 also brings that down. So when it comes to cameras, I guess the biggest difference is that the two new phones come out with an ultra wide lens. But I guess Google has made us understand that it doesn't really matter what kind of lens their phones are rocking. Their pictures are going to come out nice other ways. Google Pixel software is perfect when it comes to pictures. They take great pictures, and they've even been able to put that in their $350 phone. So after using the $350 phone and seeing the kind of pictures that it takes, Google has really just shown that it doesn't really matter the type of processor or the type of lens that it's using, but with Google software, the photos are going to come out great. Now, I know great is also depending on, your taste of photos and everything. I believe that the average person can look at these photos and see that they're pretty nice photos. The Google Pixel has multiple features on their camera, the night sight, portrait mode, panorama. I think the biggest deal for me was when I tried out night sight, and I took a couple of pictures in pitch black, like pitch black darkness. And when I looked at them, I was really surprised as to what came out. Take a look. For audio, they all have stereo speakers. That's the bottom firing speaker and the top stereo speaker. And aside from that, the 4A 5G and the 4A still have the 3.5mm jack. I guess that's for all of us audio heads that still, love our wires. Looking at the screen, I wouldn't say that Google Pixel has really made much of a jump in the differences. As for the screen of the other two, they're still rocking the exact same OLED screen 1080 by 2340, pretty much the same as the Google Pixel 4a in that perspective. So after taking a look at all three phones, we all know which one is the best for our pockets. We all know which one is the cheapest. But now we are probably all just wondering, is the upgrade in phone worth the price? Is it worth the extra price? I'm pretty torn in between all three, because the 5 has a ton of new features that, I won't lie, I really do miss, like water resistance, wireless charging, and the fact that I can charge other wireless phones or other wireless devices is pretty neat. But then the 4A 5G brings you 5G at such a good price, but then the 4A just brings you a good phone at such a good price. If you're going for the cheapest phone, or let me say the budget-friendly phone, we'd all go for the 4A. But with all these new features, we wonder to ourselves, is it worth the price? So I guess with all the information we have now, we can probably make a choice on which one we think is best for us. As always, thanks for watching. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. If you liked the video, leave a like. And I guess I'm going to be seeing you guys next time.